Oh my god, guys. Ooh, I have a new gecko. Oh my god, it just arrived. Okay, so I won't be too loud, I might freak it out. Firstly, I don't know how well you can see this, but I am wearing the most appropriate top right now. It is my crazy gecko lady top. Slickleo.com sent me this, and they also sent me a 10% off code for you guys to use on your first purchase. So if you want to look at their tops, there's loads of gecko related tops and you want 10% off, use this code. All the information will be in the description down below. But right now, I have a new gecko. I'll get you out. I've never held one of these before, but they're apparently similar to crested geckos. Hi! Oh wow, you've gone to the toilet now, haven't you? Yeah. Let's see, you're right. Oh my goodness, you are quick.
Oh my goodness, you're quick.
Come here, mate. Right, here we go. Look at this. Wow. Oh my goodness. It's so quick. Okay, so if you guys don't know what this is, I really hope this is on camera because I can never see what's behind my camera. So hopefully you can see this. This is a Mossy Prehensile-Tailed Gecko, better known as a chahoua. It's probably one of the few animals that people actually use its Latin name because it's easier to remember and say. So a chahoua, some people call it Chewy for short. And this particular girl or guy is a mainland one. So you can get Pine Island ones, Isle of Pine ones, or mainland ones. So basically the mainland ones apparently will have a shorter snout and bigger eyes in comparison to the Pine Island ones that will have a longer snout and smaller eyes. Another thing is the Pine Island ones generally are bigger and sometimes brighter. So we're looking maybe between 45 and 55 grams for this one as an adult size. They are from New Caledonia, like crested geckos. And if you've ever seen the Exoterra expedition trip to New Caledonia, you'll know that the crested geckos will occupy the lower heights of the tree, shall we say, around 1 to 4 meters. And then the chahuas will be around 5 to 8 meters, and then above that is the leeches. And it seems like the higher they go up the trees, the bigger they get and the more expensive they are in the pet trade. So this one was probably the most expensive gecko I've ever bought. But in comparison to how much these usually go for, I think I did quite well. So this particular one is apparently, or its parents were red line field tremper. So I imagine that is just a line bred trait because I don't think there's really any morphs properly established with chahuas. I don't know if field tremper is related to Ron tremper or it's just a happy coincidence, but its parents have quite high amounts of red. Now we're not going to see that straight away. As you can see, this one's particularly brown and it helps when it needs to camouflage. But I did actually read somewhere that it could take 1 to 2 years to fully mature, and in that time they will obviously grow. They can grow up to about 10 inches, but that might be the Pine Island ones. And you'll see whites and greens and reds come out. And funnily enough, I got sent a picture of all the hatchlings and I could choose whichever one I wanted, and there was this one dark one. Everyone else was like a greeny colour and there's this one dark one. I was like, that's the one for me. And fortunately he or she was available, so that's the one I've got. And it'll be interesting to see how it changes because right now I don't even know if it's fired up. Apparently, according to the breeder, it does actually, this one is naturally darker than the rest even when it's not fired up, so it'd be interesting to see how it turns out. Now, something about the chahoua is there's a limited amount of videos on them really. If you write in Mossy Prehensile-Tailed Gecko, there's really not that many. And I was watching a video today from 8 years ago, and the woman in the video said that they can't actually regenerate their tails, but they can. And if you've ever heard of this, actually I have to thank this person really. It's called Jonathan's Jungle Roadshow, and they actually, on their page, they have a picture of their chahoua regenerating the tail. And it was him that I asked for if he knew a breeder because looking for these guys was so difficult. None of the shops really had them, and you really had to hunt around for breeders. And I'm actually happy the breeder I got, because one thing I think is actually brilliant is he doesn't breed the females constantly each year. He actually gives the females a break. And with chahuas, people find that they can be difficult to breed, but he says he doesn't find it too difficult because he gives them this break. And I have read that when breeding them, so much calcium gets taken from the female, so it is really nice to know that the girls get a year off. Healthy mum, healthy hatchling, and that's definitely what I want. Where's he going? You around here? You alright? Completely, look how, like, lovely he is, shouldn't I? There you go. So tiny. I think, oh my goodness. I think they are smaller, they're like thinner right at the moment than a crested gecko. I think the head of a crested gecko really helps the size. Actually, there's a picture of Lyra on Ziggy's tank, and you can see how big Lyra actually is. But I believe this gecko is maybe 4 to 5 months old at the moment, and I cannot wait to introduce it to its tank. And also I've heard that sometimes, what's it doing? Sometimes they will actually completely coil their tail around. You don't see that with like crested geckos. And I've heard, this is another thing I've heard, and I don't know exactly if it's true, but I've heard that crested geckos have sort of a semi-prehensile tail, but these have a full-on one, so they really grip hold. I don't know how true that is, because that came from the same video with the woman saying that they can't regenerate it, so you know. Anyway, let's go and introduce it to its tank, which you guys haven't seen yet. The next video after this, which won't be up tomorrow but the next day, will be the tank build. Also, one last thing, when people ask me how to tame geckos, I don't know how to, because whenever I get a gecko, they're just tame. I don't know if it's just, I'm just lucky and I picked some good ones, or just the way I approach them. I don't really understand what I do. But, I mean, look at this little guy. That's another thing. A lot of people ask me whether I was getting a leechy, but those guys can be proper leery. And I've heard that although you can definitely tame them, they take a lot longer, and these are more like the puppy dogs of sort of the New Caledonian geckos. Okay, we're up at his tank, and this tank seemed massive for this gecko. So I'm not really sure, I might put them up here. Do you wanna go on there? You go on there? No? Okay. Let's put it down here. It's really difficult because I'm holding a gecko in one hand, holding a camera in the other, and this camera does not autofocus. So this may go out of focus a bit. Let's pop you on here. There you go. You just don't want to come off my hand. Look how little it is. It's so sweet. So I just popped it in and I sprayed down the tank because I imagine it hasn't really had a drink overnight. But look how similar its colouring is to the cork. These are a master of camouflage. So I'm going to probably go and leave him. Now, as I said, there isn't much about chahuas on YouTube. There's a limited amount. Tiki's Geckos did a good video on them. But what I will try to do is, you know, I did my first week with a crested gecko video. I thought that would help new owners what to expect. I can do it for this little one if you want. See how that goes. I don't have a name yet, and as I said, it can take a while for them to fully mature, so it may take a while for us to know for sure if it's a boy or girl, so I'll probably have to find a unisex name. But nevertheless, I'm very happy. Seems very calm and docile, so that's awesome to see. And yeah, I'm just going to go let him settle in, have a little drink, maybe some food tonight, but you'll see that in another video. So thanks for watching, guys, and goodbye.